This book is over 500 pages, but you'll learn all of the key insights and how to apply them all in just a few minutes. Principles by Ray Dalio is a masterclass in personal and professional success, offering practical frameworks and timeless insights to help you navigate challenges, make better decisions, and build a fulfilling, resilient life and career. Let's have a productive life. Part 1. Where I'm Coming From. Chapter 1. My Call to Adventure. 1949 to 1967. Let's start with Ray Dalio's formative years, a time when his adventurous approach to life began to take shape. Dalio describes himself as a curious child, one who struggled with rote memorization, but thrived when exploring how things worked. This mindset led him to buy his first stock at just 12 years old, planting the seeds for what would become a groundbreaking career in finance. His curiosity was insatiable. He loved the markets because they felt like a puzzle to solve, one that conventional wisdom couldn't always crack. One of the key lessons from this period is the importance of questioning norms. Dalio realized early on that following traditional methods didn't always yield success, so he leaned into experimentation. For instance, instead of simply studying economics in school, he started applying his knowledge by investing real money, learning from both his successes and mistakes. So, what can we take away from Dalio's childhood? First, let curiosity guide you. If something fascinates you, dive in and learn by doing. Second, don't be afraid to question systems that don't work for you. Create your own path if necessary. And finally, remember that even small early steps, like Dalio's first stock purchase, can build the foundation for future achievements. Please don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Thank you. Chapter 2. Crossing the Threshold. 1967-1979. In Dalio's early career, we see him developing a worldview shaped by hands-on learning and calculated risk-taking. During this period, Dalio begins working in finance and quickly discovers that failure is not something to avoid, but rather a stepping stone to success. He observes, "The best ideas often come from the depths of our failures." This insight becomes one of his core principles. One pivotal moment in these years was when Dalio started experimenting more seriously with financial markets. His willingness to test ideas, even if they went against consensus thinking, taught him the value of independence. For example, rather than simply following popular market trends, he rigorously analyzed data and sought to uncover deeper truths that others overlooked. The actionable insights here are clear. Treat failures as learning opportunities, develop independent thinking, and approach challenges with a balance of discipline and creativity. Dalio's story shows us that success often stems from a willingness to challenge assumptions and embrace uncertainty with a structured plan. Chapter 3. My Abyss. 1979-1982. This chapter marks one of the most humbling periods in Dalio's life. Overconfidence led him to predict a major economic downturn, which ultimately resulted in financial ruin when his prediction didn't come true. Dalio recounts how he was forced to borrow money from his family just to stay afloat. This low point, however, became a turning point. He describes his recovery process as a combination of humility and reflection, summed up in his principle, pain plus reflection equals progress. Dalio began documenting his mistakes to ensure he wouldn't repeat them. This practice of self-analysis became a cornerstone of his approach to decision-making and risk management. What can we learn from this? First, embrace mistakes as invaluable teachers. Second, balance your ambition with a healthy dose of realism. Confidence is important, but it must be tempered with caution. And finally, create a system to analyze your failures, as this will help you turn setbacks into future successes. Chapter 4. My Road of Trials. 1983-1994. As Dalio begins to rebuild, he lays the groundwork for Bridgewater Associates, which would go on to become one of the world's most successful investment firms. These years are marked by the development of his systematic, principles-based approach to decision-making. A standout aspect of this period is his focus on fostering radical transparency within his organization. Dalio's philosophy is encapsulated in the belief that the best ideas win, no matter who they come from. At Bridgewater, he created an environment where ideas were judged solely on their merit, not on the status or seniority of the person presenting them. This meritocratic culture encouraged innovation and collaboration, ensuring that even the most junior team members had a voice. The lessons here are profound. First, cultivate a culture of openness in your work or organization. Encourage transparency and ensure that ideas are evaluated fairly. Second, focus on building systems and processes that enable consistent, high-quality decision-making. Dalio's journey during these years is a testament to the power of collaboration and principled leadership. Chapter 5, The Ultimate Boon, 1995-2010. By 2010, Bridgewater had become one of the most successful hedge funds in the world. This was no accident. It was the result of applying the principles Dalio had been refining for decades. But even as success piled up, Dalio maintained a mindset of humility and constant learning. He warned against complacency, saying, "Don't let success lull you into complacency." This sentiment kept him and his firm focused on innovation and improvement. One of the standout elements of this period was his continued emphasis on radical openness and transparency. Dalio created a culture where constructive feedback was not just encouraged, but seen as essential for achieving excellence. This allowed Bridgewater to sustain its edge, balancing operational discipline with the flexibility to adapt and innovate. The takeaway here is clear. Success is never the finish line. To maintain it, you need to stay curious, humble, and open to feedback. Keep refining your methods, balancing bold new ideas with disciplined execution. Whether you're managing a team or pursuing personal goals, this approach ensures that success isn't just a one-time event, but a sustainable way of life. Chapter 6, Returning the Boon, 2011-2015. By this time, he had achieved extraordinary personal and professional success. Now, he turned his attention to sharing the lessons he had learned. Dalio began to compile his principles into a cohesive framework, culminating in the book we're discussing today. His goal was simple yet profound: to help others navigate challenges and achieve their own success. Dalio believes that principles are not just abstract ideas. They are practical tools for decision-making and problem-solving. He once said, "Principles are tools for achieving your goals and dealing with reality effectively." By sharing his experiences, he hoped to inspire others to develop their own principles tailored to their unique circumstances. The lesson here is about legacy and contribution. Take time to reflect on what you've learned in your life and think about how those lessons can help others. Documenting your principles isn't just for personal clarity. It can also serve as a guide for others. And as Dalio's journey shows, sharing your wisdom amplifies its impact, creating a ripple effect of growth and success. Chapter 7, My Last Year and My Greatest Challenge, 2016-2017. In these years, he faced a dual challenge: stepping back from the leadership of Bridgewater and dealing with personal health issues. This period was a test of the very principles he had spent his life developing. He reflected deeply on the importance of relationships, gratitude, and legacy. "The greatest joy in life," he said, "comes from meaningful relationships." Stepping back from his role at Bridgewater wasn't easy, but Dalio focused on embedding his principles into the organization to ensure they would endure. His perspective shifted toward ensuring that his life's work could continue to guide others long after his active involvement ended. This chapter teaches us to think about transitions not as endings, but as opportunities to set the stage for the future. Prioritize relationships. They are the foundation of fulfillment. Prepare for major transitions by embedding your values into your work and life. And finally, focus on the impact you want to leave behind. Dalio's reflections show that true success is measured not by what you achieve, but by the legacy you create. Chapter 8, Looking Back from a Higher Level. Finally, we arrive at Dalio's ultimate reflection on his life. In this chapter, he connects the dots between the experiences, successes, and failures that shaped him. He describes life as a giant puzzle where every piece, even the challenging ones, has a reason. When you step back, he says, you see that the obstacles are part of the path. This perspective is incredibly empowering. It encourages us to view challenges not as setbacks, but as integral parts of our growth. By looking at the bigger picture, Dalio reminds us to appreciate how each experience contributes to who we are and where we're going. The actionable insights here are universal. Take regular moments to step back and reflect on your journey. Recognize that the challenges you face are opportunities for growth, and use this reflection to refine your principles, aligning them with your long-term goals. Dalio's message is clear. Life's greatest lessons come when you pause, reflect, and integrate what you've learned into a purposeful path forward. Part 2. Life Principles. Chapter 1. Embrace reality and deal with it. This idea is simple but profoundly important. Dalio argues that effective decision-making starts with an honest understanding of reality, even when it's uncomfortable. He says, truth, or more precisely, an accurate understanding of reality, is the essential foundation for any good outcome. This means that avoiding the truth, whether it's about yourself, your circumstances, or the world around you, is a recipe for poor decisions. Painful experiences, according to Dalio, are nature's way of signaling that something is wrong. Instead of running from pain, he encourages us to reflect on it and use it as a teacher. For instance, if you fail at a task, it's an opportunity to identify gaps in your approach or skills and to improve. This mindset underpins Dalio's entire framework. It's about building a life and work system based on truth and constant learning. To put this into practice, start by identifying your strengths and weaknesses without bias. Acknowledge areas of improvement and use your setbacks as tools for growth. Most importantly, develop a habit of seeking the truth, even when it's hard to face. This approach will lay a strong foundation for the rest of your journey. Chapter 2. Use the 5-step process to get what you want out of life. This repeatable method can help you achieve your goals systematically, no matter how ambitious they may seem. The process involves setting clear goals, identifying problems that stand in the way, diagnosing the root causes of those problems, designing solutions, and finally executing those solutions effectively. Dalio emphasizes, you can have virtually anything you want, but you can't have everything you want. In other words, success requires prioritization and focus. Imagine you're planning to launch a new project. First, set a specific goal, such as completing it within 6 months. Then identify obstacles, like limited resources or a lack of expertise. Diagnose the root causes. Maybe your team needs additional training. From there, design a solution, such as creating a training program or reallocating resources, and then execute the plan with discipline. The beauty of this process is its flexibility. Whether you're pursuing personal growth or leading a team, these steps help you navigate challenges with clarity and persistence. Break your goals into manageable actions. Treat problems as puzzles to solve, and regularly review your progress to stay aligned with your objectives. Chapter 3. Be radically open-minded. It's the practice of actively seeking out conflicting viewpoints, questioning your assumptions, and learning from others. He states, to be successful, you need to be an independent thinker, and that's impossible without being open-minded. But achieving this requires overcoming barriers like ego and blind spots. Radical open-mindedness means listening to perspectives that differ from your own, even when they challenge your beliefs. For example, if you're making a major business decision, seek advice from people with diverse expertise. Their insights might reveal flaws in your plan or spark ideas you hadn't considered. This doesn't mean abandoning your confidence, it means balancing it with humility. The actionable steps here include asking for feedback, being willing to change your mind in light of new evidence, and remembering that no one has all the answers. Dalio's approach encourages us to embrace curiosity and learn from everyone, making us more adaptable and effective in any situation. Chapter 4. Understand that people are wired very differently. Dalio points out that people are wired differently due to their unique genetics and experiences. These differences influence how we think, act, and interact. By appreciating this diversity, we can build stronger relationships and more effective teams. He explains, when you appreciate that people are wired differently, you'll be less frustrated by them. For example, in a team setting, some individuals might excel at big-picture thinking, while others thrive in detail-oriented tasks. Recognizing these strengths allows you to assign roles that align with each person's natural abilities, maximizing both performance and satisfaction. Dalio's advice here isn't just about professional life, it applies to personal relationships too. Understanding someone's motivations and tendencies can reduce conflict and foster empathy. To apply this principle, take time to learn about the people around you, their strengths, weaknesses, and values. Match tasks to their natural talents, and remember that differences aren't obstacles. They're opportunities to create complementary dynamics. This mindset not only enhances collaboration, but also deepens your connections with others. Chapter 5. Learn how to make decisions effectively. Decision-making is one of the most critical skills in life, and Ray Dalio offers a powerful framework for doing it well. He believes that great decisions come from balancing logic with emotion and always seeking the best available information. He describes decision-making as a two-step process. First, learning what's true, and then deciding what to do about it. Clarity and calmness are essential. Rushed or emotional decisions rarely lead to good outcomes. Dalio emphasizes breaking decisions into smaller, manageable parts. By prioritizing objectivity and using evidence-based reasoning, you can minimize bias and make more reliable choices. He also advocates for collaboration, suggesting that we seek input from people with diverse perspectives and expertise. For example, if you're facing a career choice, consult mentors, colleagues, and even friends who can offer insights you might not have considered. To apply this principle, use a clear framework to separate facts from feelings, ensuring your decisions are grounded in reality. Invite others to challenge your thinking and evaluate the possible outcomes of your choices against your goals and values. Thoughtful and deliberate decision-making is a cornerstone of long-term success. Chapter 6. Life Principles. Putting it all together. In this chapter, Dalio consolidates his life principles into a cohesive framework that anyone can use to navigate their journey. He emphasizes that these principles are interconnected. They work together to help individuals face challenges, make better decisions, and achieve their goals. At the heart of it all is self-awareness and adaptability. Dalio explains, "Success in life depends on how you deal with what you don't know." This section encourages us to reflect regularly on our principles and adjust them as we learn and grow. For instance, after a major mistake, take time to identify what went wrong and refine your approach for the future. By viewing challenges as opportunities for learning and adaptation, you can turn setbacks into stepping stones. Dalio's principles are not rigid rules, but flexible tools designed to align your actions with your long-term aspirations. Regularly revisit your goals, refine your methods based on new experiences, and ensure that your principles guide your decisions. With this mindset, you can build a foundation for sustained growth and success. Part 3. Work Principles. Chapter 1. Trust in Radical Truth and Radical Transparency. Moving into the work principles, Dalio starts with an essential building block for any successful organization: radical truth and transparency. He believes these are the cornerstones of a great workplace culture. Dalio explains, people can only be trusted if they are open about what they think and do. In other words, honesty and openness foster trust, accountability, and faster problem-solving. Imagine a team where everyone feels safe sharing their opinions, even if they challenge the status quo. Such an environment eliminates hidden agendas and misunderstandings, paving the way for innovation. Dalio practiced this at Bridgewater, where employees were encouraged to challenge ideas regardless of hierarchy. This culture of radical transparency helped identify and address problems quickly, unlocking creativity and improving outcomes. To implement this in your organization or team, encourage open communication and create a safe space for people to share their perspectives. Share important information broadly to build trust and alignment. When conflicts arise, address them directly and transparently to avoid long-term issues. Truth and transparency may be uncomfortable at times, but they are essential for meaningful progress. Chapter 2. Cultivate meaningful work and meaningful relationships. Dalio states, meaningful work and meaningful relationships are the most important things you can have in life. These two elements are closely linked. Strong relationships built on trust and respect enhance collaboration and productivity, creating a sense of shared purpose. In a workplace, this means fostering an environment where people feel connected to their work and to one another. For example, a team that shares a common mission is more likely to collaborate effectively and achieve great results. Dalio emphasizes that when individuals align their roles with their values and goals, they find greater satisfaction and perform at their best. To bring this principle to life, invest time in building strong relationships with your colleagues and team members. Align your work with your personal values and take pride in your contributions. Encourage a culture of respect where collaboration and mutual support are prioritized. By cultivating both meaningful work and meaningful relationships, you create the foundation for long-term success and fulfillment. Chapter 3. Create a culture in which it is okay to make mistakes and unacceptable not to learn from them. Let's address one of the most important aspects of growth in any organization: how mistakes are handled. Dalio explains that mistakes are inevitable, but what matters is how we respond to them. He believes mistakes are the best way to learn if you approach them with humility and curiosity. In other words, mistakes should be seen not as failures, but as opportunities for growth. To create an innovative and resilient culture, organizations must foster an environment where people feel safe admitting their errors. At the same time, there must be accountability. Failing to learn from mistakes hinders progress. Dalio emphasizes, it's okay to fail, but it's not okay to fail to learn. This approach reduces fear, encourages problem solving, and helps individuals and teams improve over time. So, what can we do? First, create a blame-free environment where team members are encouraged to admit mistakes and seek help. Second, treat mistakes as learning moments. Analyze them, find the root causes, and work together to address them. Finally, hold individuals accountable for using these lessons to make meaningful improvements. This not only fosters resilience, but also drives long-term success. Chapter 4. Get and stay in sync. Next, let's discuss the importance of staying aligned within a team. Dalio emphasizes that alignment and clarity are critical for effective teamwork and decision-making. He says, disagreement is a natural part of working with others, but staying in sync is essential for success. Open, honest dialogue is the key to maintaining alignment and ensuring everyone is working toward the same goals. Frequent communication helps teams address misunderstandings and disagreements before they escalate. Dalio advocates for regular discussions to clarify expectations and resolve conflicts constructively. By doing so, teams can maintain harmony and move forward cohesively. As he puts it, open, honest dialogue is the glue that holds a team together. To put this into action, hold regular meetings where concerns can be addressed, misunderstandings clarified, and priorities aligned. Foster an environment where individuals feel comfortable voicing disagreements and sharing ideas. Finally, use constructive feedback to resolve conflicts and keep the team moving in the same direction. These practices will help build a strong, collaborative team culture. Chapter 5. Believability Weight. Your decision-making. Dalio argues that decisions should not be based on hierarchy, but on expertise and track record. He says, the best decisions come from weighing input based on believability, not hierarchy. This principle helps ensure that the most informed perspectives carry the appropriate weight. In practice, believability weighting requires setting aside ego and focusing on evidence-based inputs. For instance, if a team is discussing a technical issue, the opinions of those with proven experience in the field should carry more weight than those of less informed individuals. Dalio emphasizes that smart people respect the expertise of others and use it to improve their own decisions. To apply this principle, evaluate team members' expertise and track records to determine whose input should carry the most weight in a given situation. Use data and evidence to guide decisions, avoiding reliance on gut feelings or opinions alone. Finally, cultivate humility by recognizing when others have more knowledge or insight on a topic. This approach not only improves decision quality, but also fosters collaboration and mutual respect. Chapter 6. Recognize how to get beyond disagreements. Let's talk about handling disagreements constructively. Dalio explains that disagreements are natural and, when approached correctly, can lead to better outcomes. He advises, disagreements are opportunities to learn and improve, not roadblocks. By seeking to understand opposing views and finding common ground, teams can resolve conflicts in a way that drives progress. Dalio suggests using structured frameworks to explore differing viewpoints and reach resolutions. For example, start by identifying areas of agreement and divergence, and then collaborate on solutions. Approaching disagreements with curiosity rather than defensiveness creates an environment where respectful debate is welcomed and valued. As Dalio says, seek to understand before seeking to persuade. To implement this, use a clear process for resolving disagreements, ensuring all voices are heard and understood. Approach conflicts with an open mind, focusing on the other person's perspective rather than defending your own position. Finally, encourage a culture where respectful debate is seen as a tool for innovation and growth. This mindset turns disagreements into opportunities for collaboration and learning. Chapter 7. Remember that the Joe is more important than the what. Let's discuss one of Dalio's core beliefs. The who matters more than the what. He explains that the success of any organization ultimately depends on having the right people in the right roles. Great people make great things happen, he says, emphasizing that skills and values must align not only with the demands of the role, but also with the organization's culture. Without this alignment, even the best strategies can fall short. Dalio argues that hiring and team building are among the most important decisions a leader can make. He recommends a rigorous approach, carefully evaluating candidates not just for their technical abilities, but also for their values, growth potential, and cultural fit. Once you have the right people, trusting them and granting autonomy empowers them to thrive. Here's how to apply this principle. Prioritize hiring individuals who are a great fit for both the role and the culture. Assess candidates holistically. Technical skills matter, but so do adaptability and alignment with your values. Finally, trust your team and delegate responsibilities so their strengths can shine. When you focus on the who, success becomes a natural outcome. Chapter 8. Hire right, because the penalties for hiring wrong are huge. Building on the last chapter, Dalio underscores the significant consequences of poor hiring decisions. Hiring the wrong person doesn't just waste time and resources, it can also lead to inefficiencies, conflicts, and setbacks for the entire organization. As he puts it, the cost of bad hires compounds over time. To avoid these pitfalls, Dalio recommends a structured and deliberate hiring process. This means vetting candidates thoroughly, not just for their skills, but also for their alignment with the organization's goals and culture. Effective onboarding and training are equally critical. Even the best hires need support to integrate and succeed. Dalio adds, hiring well is as much about avoiding the wrong people as it is about finding the right ones. To implement this, establish a hiring process that evaluates candidates from multiple angles, including skills, values, and cultural fit. Once they're on board, provide robust training and regular feedback to help them excel. A careful and consistent approach to hiring ensures that every addition to your team strengthens the organization. Chapter 9. Constantly train, test, evaluate, and sort people. Dalio believes that people should not only be hired carefully, but also continuously developed and evaluated. Training and evaluation aren't one-time tasks. They're ongoing investments that keep individuals and teams aligned with the organization's goals. Training and testing are investments in the future of your organization, he explains. Regular assessments help identify strengths, weaknesses, and opportunities for growth, ensuring that each person is in the right role. Sorting people into positions that match their performance and potential maximizes both individual satisfaction and organizational efficiency. Importantly, Dalio emphasizes fairness and transparency in evaluations, as these foster trust and motivation across the team. To put this into practice, invest in training programs that enhance skills and prepare individuals for evolving challenges. Conduct regular evaluations to ensure everyone is working in roles that play to their strengths. Finally, use clear and fair criteria when assigning responsibilities or making changes. A commitment to growth and accountability strengthens both individuals and the organization as a whole. Chapter 10. Manage as someone operating a machine to achieve a goal. In this chapter, Dalio introduces a powerful metaphor. Think of your organization as a machine, with people and processes working together to achieve specific outcomes. As a leader, your role is to design and operate this machine effectively. He advises, think of yourself as an architect designing and operating a machine to achieve your goals. Every part of the machine, each person, process, and system should contribute meaningfully to the overall objectives. When the machine isn't delivering the desired results, leaders must diagnose the root causes of inefficiencies and make adjustments. Dalio emphasizes systemic thinking. If something isn't working, it's usually a sign that the system needs to change, not just the individual parts. As he puts it, if the machine isn't producing the outcomes you want, look for the root cause and fix it. To apply this principle, regularly assess how well your organizational systems are functioning. Look for patterns in inefficiencies or recurring issues and address their root causes systematically. Finally, ensure that all team members understand how their roles fit into the larger goals. By thinking like an architect and managing proactively, you can build a machine that consistently delivers exceptional results. Chapter 11. Perceive and don't tolerate problems. Every organization faces problems. What matters is how we deal with them. Dalio explains that identifying and addressing problems promptly is critical to growth and success. He likens problems to coal, saying, "Problems are like coal. They're fuel for improvement if you handle them correctly." Ignoring or tolerating problems, however, leads to stagnation and can even cause long-term damage. As Dalio warns, tolerating problems is worse than having them. The key is to create a culture where problems are raised without fear of blame. By treating issues as opportunities to improve, teams can continuously refine their systems and processes. For example, if a project deadline is repeatedly missed, addressing the root cause, perhaps a scheduling or resource issue, can lead to a lasting solution. To apply this principle, encourage your team to openly identify problems. Treat these issues as opportunities for growth, not failures. Finally, prioritize prompt and effective problem solving to maintain momentum and innovation. Chapter 12. Diagnose problems to get at their root causes. Dalio emphasizes that surface-level symptoms often obscure deeper, systemic issues. He explains, if you don't get to the root of the problem, you'll just keep dealing with the symptoms. A good diagnosis, he says, is already halfway to a solution. This means going beyond quick fixes and asking tough questions about what is driving the issue. For example, if employee turnover is high, the root cause might not be poor performance, but dissatisfaction with leadership or company culture. By addressing the underlying factors, you can implement solutions that prevent the problem from recurring. Here's how to put this into practice. Dig deeper when problems arise by using data, feedback, and analysis. Resist the temptation to treat only the symptoms and instead focus on addressing the true cause. By taking this thoughtful approach, you'll create lasting solutions that strengthen your organization over time. Chapter 13. Design improvements to your machine to get around your problems. Once you've identified the root cause of a problem, the next step is designing a solution. Dalio believes in systematically improving processes and systems to address challenges effectively. He explains, designing is about creating a system that prevents problems from recurring. This proactive approach ensures that organizations evolve and adapt over time. To design effective solutions, think creatively and focus on long-term outcomes. For instance, if a recurring bottleneck is slowing production, consider re-engineering the workflow or introducing new tools to streamline the process. Dalio emphasizes that continuous improvement is essential for resilience in the face of change. A great organization evolves by continuously improving its machine. Approach problems as opportunities to redesign and improve your systems. Involve your team in brainstorming solutions, as diverse perspectives often lead to innovative ideas. Monitor the effectiveness of the changes you implement and refine them as needed to ensure lasting success. Chapter 14. Do what you set out to do. Now we come to execution, the bridge between intention and results. Dalio stresses that even the best designed plans are meaningless without consistent follow-through. He explains, a goal without execution is a dream. Execution brings results. This requires discipline, focus, and accountability. Execution begins with setting clear, measurable goals. For example, if your goal is to increase sales by 20%, define specific steps, such as expanding your client base or improving customer retention. Track progress regularly to ensure you're on course, and hold yourself and your team accountable for meeting objectives. As Dalio puts it, it's not about knowing what to do, it's about making sure it gets done. To apply this principle, focus on consistent action and avoid letting perfectionism delay progress. Set clear objectives, track your results, and hold everyone accountable for their contributions. By prioritizing execution, you can turn ambitious plans into tangible achievements. Chapter 15. Use tools and protocols to shape how work is done. Dalio emphasizes that well-designed tools and protocols bring structure and consistency to an organization, making processes more efficient and reducing human error. As he puts it, tools and protocols bring structure and consistency to your machine. These aren't just nice-to-haves, they're essential for achieving extraordinary results. For example, think about a team that uses project management software. The software doesn't just organize tasks, it ensures that deadlines are clear, responsibilities are defined, and progress is tracked. Tools like this minimize confusion and help align everyone with the organization's goals. The key is to invest in tools that meet your specific needs and ensure they're consistently used across the team. To apply this principle, identify tools and protocols that can enhance efficiency and eliminate unnecessary variability. Develop standardized workflows for critical processes to minimize errors and confusion. Finally, regularly review and update your tools to keep pace with the organization's evolving needs. By leveraging the right tools and structured systems, you empower your team to work smarter and more effectively. Chapter 16. And for heaven's sake, don't overlook governance. Dalio describes governance as the backbone of a well-functioning organization. Without strong governance, even the best systems and teams can falter. As Dalio says, good governance is the backbone of any well-functioning organization. Governance involves creating clear structures that define roles, responsibilities, and decision-making processes. For example, in a growing company, establishing clear lines of authority can prevent confusion and ensure accountability. Dalio stresses that governance is not a one-time task. It must evolve as the organization grows and becomes more complex. Without this, even a great organization risks descending into chaos. To implement this principle, establish governance structures that align with your organization's current size and goals. Regularly review these systems to ensure they continue to meet the organization's needs as it grows and faces new challenges. Create mechanisms for monitoring accountability, ensuring that everyone stays on track. By prioritizing governance, you create a foundation for sustained success. Chapter 17. Work Principles. Putting it all together. Finally, let's tie all of Dalio's work principles together. He describes them as an interconnected framework designed to help organizations achieve their goals through strong culture, effective systems, and great people. As Dalio explains, work principles are the rules that make an organization great. By fostering continuous improvement and adaptability, leaders can ensure their organizations remain resilient and effective, even in a changing world. This chapter consolidates Dalio's key insights: the importance of creating a transparent and collaborative culture, assembling the right team, and designing systems that adapt to challenges. For example, a company that regularly evaluates its practices and updates its tools is better equipped to handle market shifts or internal changes. Dalio reminds us that great organizations are like evolving machines. They continuously refine and improve to deliver consistent results. To apply these lessons, regularly assess how well your organization aligns with the principles of culture, people, and systems. Foster a mindset of adaptability, encouraging your team to embrace change as an opportunity for growth. Use the principles as a guide to evaluate and refine your organization's practices. By integrating these insights, you can create a lasting framework for sustained success. Principles is more than a book. It's a guide for living and working with clarity, purpose, and adaptability. Ray Dalio's insights, drawn from decades of experience, offer readers a structured approach to tackling life's complexities while staying true to their values and goals. By embracing principles such as radical transparency, thoughtful decision-making, and continuous learning, anyone can create a meaningful impact in their personal and professional lives. As Dalio reminds us, success isn't about avoiding mistakes or challenges. It's about learning, improving, and evolving through them.